The irony of what we saw yesterday from CyberLeek could not be any sharper in its jabs at Rockstar and parent company Take-Two, seeing Jason enter an electronics shop called Game Horde that sells, of all things, physical games, which, as Tweaktown puts it, is ironic given Rockstar's own code-in-a-box physical editions for the real game. Now, we took a look at this in my previous GTA 6 and Sony coverage, which I'll link down in the video description and pinned comment, but back when 𝐓𝐡𝐮𝐦𝐷, CEO of Take-Two, confirmed this decision to go all digital with no collector's edition and the physical editions actually containing a code-in-the-box, well, let's just say it didn't go down very well. But back when the news broke, there were even some retailers like Video Games Plus who outright refused to sell GTA 6 due to its controversial decision, going on to say, based on the information currently available, the physical release of Grand Theft Auto 6 for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X is expected to be a code-in-the-box product. As a result, VGP will not be offering it for sale under our current company policy. Now, I mentioned physical games because one of the talking points to push this all-digital GTA 6 release and not producing the game on a physical disc was that it was likely being done to avoid leaks. And, well, here we are. Despite not having a physical disc version of the game, GTA 6 has now leaked twice. The first time back in September 2022, and now the much more damaging leaks in 2026, with CyberLeek seemingly untouchable and toying with Rockstar and their attempts to locate this group that is just wrecking and causing chaos. Of course, hot on the heels of the Rockstar all-digital release announcement, Sony immediately hopped up on stage to announce that they would be going all-digital come 2028. And if the current events we are seeing unfold within the confines of GTA 6 have taught us nothing, it's that these companies are not ready for that all-digital utopia they so want to see. Now, they claim they are, with 𝐓𝐡𝐻𝐿 even predicting that cloud gaming will be the norm in 3 years, but seeing Rockstar's $1 to $2 billion project slowly drip-fed to the world, and for them not to be in control of that release, it's proving that they are anything but ready for an all-digital future. I mean, when you've got a leaker calling for people to show up on your doorstep in exchange for more leaks, and they do it, it's confirmed. You are not ready for what's to come in terms of the need for security. Since CyberLeek began posting back on August 18th, we've now seen about 15 separate videos along with sneak peeks of the GTA 6 map, with the current poll to show the prologue for Lucia still sitting at an overwhelming 99.6% in favor. So at least at the time of this recording, it looks like that one's about to happen, and we're under 5 hours to go before the leaks potentially hit the highest levels of panic within Rockstar, because up until now, it's just been random locations like the beach, nudist town, Jason driving, getting into combat and flying. But the question within the social channels was always one of how much does CyberLeek have access to? With many saying that since we haven't seen Lucia or cutscenes, this couldn't be a full build of the game. Most of that doubt was squashed when CyberLeek pulled out an automatic weapon and wrote the letters LEEK on a wall. And if we see Lucia prologue action a bit later today, I think it's safe to say that the alarm bells over at Rockstar will be going off if they aren't already. So far, the response from Rockstar has been, well, it's basically been one of no response, despite what must be going on behind the walls over at the studio. Now, according to Bloomberg, one of the game's top executives recently sent out an email to staff denouncing the leaker and promising that the incident wouldn't detract from the excellent work they've done. And this ties into a topic we touched on in a previous video, but morale has already taken a hit. In some cases, it just turned to outright anger, as Rockstar employees spoke out against the studio's work policies. You see, after the 2022 leak, remote work was canceled and all Rockstar employees were told to return to the office, with one of the main rationales being that they wanted to tighten up security and avoid another future leak. Now in 2026, the employees have been back in the office for years, and Rockstar is seeing its most damaging leak to date, despite those extra security measures, leading again to some question about the directive about returning to the office in the first place. The other bit of a response has been the reminders about the upcoming 6 hours of exclusivity, where GTA 6 will be showcased over on Netflix. Now, according to some estimates, Netflix paid out nearly $100 million for the exclusive GTA 6 footage, which highlights several pieces of information about GTA 6. You see, first off, that's an insane amount Take-Two just pocketed off of the deal, which again is only exclusive for 6 hours before this footage will then be made public over on YouTube. GTA 6 is, of course, a massive franchise. We all know that, but there are games, successful games, where the entire budget, including marketing, comes in under $100 million in total cost. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 reportedly cost Sandfall Interactive under $10 million total to make that game. And here with Netflix, they're willing to just shell out 10 times that for 6 hours of exclusivity, which is freaking insane. Now, though, with this Netflix deal and the move to all digital, if it isn't already apparent, the Rockstar of old, the one that worked with and appreciated its fans, that company is gone. These days, it's all about generating revenue and pleasing the shareholders. $80 base versions of the game that are marketed as the full experience, but in reality, it isn't. For that, you need to pony up $100 to get everything the game has to offer, including the shops and stores. And that decision has been met with mixed and heated responses. Never thought I'd see people glazing a company for how uniquely they lock single-player content behind a paywall, LOL. As Kotaku went on to say, even if Rockstar isn't the first company to lock content behind a paywall in a single-player game, it doesn't change the fact that a portion of GTA 6 won't be accessible to players unless they purchase the Ultimate Edition. That feels shitty, even if the content is superfluous, which doesn't seem to be the case. Of course, when it comes to CyberLeek and what they are doing, and taken in the context of who they are doing it to, Rockstar and Take-Two, it's led to this feeling that CyberLeek is a modern-day Robin Hood as they take on Big Corpo and push back against their scummy business models and greedy monetization. Now, despite the fact that this group burned nearly $1 million in dev coins to prove that their cause was legit, CyberLeek is still making a lot of money through the transaction fees for the trading of their meme coin. And, if this were another company other than Take-Two, the sentiment might be different. For instance, if this hack and leak had been directed at, say, CDPR, which just announced that ludicrous rework to Witcher 3 and free DLC on top of that as well, I think at that point we're looking at a different online reaction to what CyberLeek has done. But again, with the target being Rockstar and how anti-consumer they have been with their decisions, all digital, monetize everything, $100 price points, it's looking like many people are willing to turn a blind eye to the leaks, basically saying, hey, you've been raking us over the coals for years now, so, we don't feel so bad that it's now happening to you. However, even with Take-Two and Rockstar not making any official or weighty public statements, and by the way, we did just get some breaking news on that, so stay tuned, their push to subpoena huge amounts of the tech landscape are still moving forward. You see, when we last checked in on this, Take-Two had cast their net far and wide, filing multiple subpoenas in New York Southern District Court in an attempt to hunt down things like audiovisual content, artwork, images, dialogue, and other creative elements tied to the leaks of GTA 6. Now, what shocked a lot of people that saw these requests for information was just how much Take-Two's lawyers were going after between Microsoft and Discord. Things like account IDs, registration emails, last login IP addresses, phone numbers, linked connections like Google or Xbox, any associated device identifiers, and content related to GTA, Rockstar, or CyberLeek from their OneDrive accounts. Which, if that sounds like a lot, it is. And it shows just how desperate Take-Two is and how little they have to actually go on. We already know from our previous reports that Dark Viper AU is mentioned in these documents as Take-Two wants to go after that entire Discord, which is something like 90 to 100,000 total members, who may have all that personal information pulled and handed over to Take-Two's lawyers. Now, that hasn't happened yet, according to Ryan Rigney, marketing director for Discord, who posted this update to his Twitter account saying that Discord has not yet been served with a subpoena from Take-Two, and when they are, they'll evaluate the validity and scope before responding. Microsoft has already publicly stated that they're going to be working with Take-Two, and they did this before they received the subpoena. But again, this is concerning. User privacy is being brought into question here, and for someone that is a part of a Discord that may have never had any interaction with CyberLeek, leaks about GTA 6 or any of the rest of it, for them to potentially have all that personal information handed over to Take-Two as they just grasp for straws, looking for anything to lead them to CyberLeek, that is really concerning. This is now the second internal leak for GTA 6, and up until this point, it's been game info, but if Take-Two gets a hold of all that personal information and falls victim to, say, like a phishing scam and gets hacked, the thought of innocent people's phone numbers and even deeper personal information just kind of floating around out there on the dark web, yeah, I can see why this would have a lot of people concerned and pushing for Discord to not allow this broad-reaching subpoena to take hold. When it comes to this hunt for CyberLeek, it seems that Take-Two is now chasing down anything and everything. As we just learned from this tweet from Pirate Nation, Take-Two has received court approval to subpoena X over the CyberLeek ARIO account as part of its investigation into the GTA 6 leaks. This subpoena could require X to provide information that may help Take-Two identify the person or people behind the account, but they are wasting their time. The leaker has previously stated that he does not have an X account. Take-Two has also executed a separate subpoena involving Microsoft to obtain information from a OneDrive account connected to the investigation. Whether this proves to amount to anything, let's just say that many followers of the story are skeptical because CyberLeek has already said that they don't have any social media accounts. No Discord, no Twitter, just nothing. If you want to communicate with them, it's through their own controlled website, so as to not leave a trail of crumbs that could lead to their capture. So a Twitter sweep by Take-Two seems to once again prove that their legal team is just grasping for straws and coming up with nothing but zeros. However, this doesn't mean that Take-Two isn't taking any action, as we received reports that other Twitter accounts are being locked, like this claim from God Empress of Mankind that they had their account locked due to a DMCA infringement, saying that they never directly posted or reposted a leak after it's been taken down. They also go on to say that, like thousands of people, they're only reporting on the leaks, finishing up with, no wonder they can't catch this guy. They are too busy trying to shut up everyone else. Now, I'm just going to say I don't know anything about this account, but Rockstar and Take-Two have been known to be very litigious, issuing blanket copyright and DMCA strikes. And with their game currently floating around in the hands of CyberLeek and seemingly not able to do a damn thing to stop it, their legal team has really kicked up this Oprah philosophy of everyone gets a strike, and they're taking this thing into high gear. In our last GTA upload, we visited the post of Lewis, aka Pilot X 1970, who had been posting videos of two individuals he recorded that apparently showed up at his house on behalf of Rockstar attorneys, based on the point that he posted in the GTA forum to basically circle August 18th on the calendar. His prediction was that the next GTA 6 trailer would be coming out that day, but when CyberLeek began their tour of chaos on that exact day, it landed Lewis squarely in Rockstar's crosshairs. Now at this point, Lewis is saying that he's had his life basically turned upside down. He's receiving constant death threats. They're making claims he's doing this for clicks or for profit, but when the guys who show up are saying things like, hey, they don't like this, and that's not good enough, while one of the men has just tats up and down his arms, it looks and sounds far more like a shakedown than an official notice from Rockstar's legal team. However, with the Netflix reveal set to go down tomorrow, and now with the Lucia prologue timer hitting zeros in a few hours from now, the next 24 to 48 hours are going to be really interesting. It seems that CyberLeek is set to potentially drop a DEFCON Level 1 nuclear strike straight on top of Rockstar headquarters if they truly possess the ability to unlock, play, and post Lucia footage, which would destroy the counter-narrative that this group doesn't have a fully playable build. There's also the topic of their meme coin and how seemingly people are more than willing to drop serious cash when it comes to trading this thing and when it comes time to cast votes on one of CyberLeek's polls. I think at one point, CyberLeek said that if they hit the market cap total of like 3 million, they would post a certain leak, and it went from 1.5 million to well over 3 million in less than 24 hours, which is mental. Actually, they topped out somewhere between 20 and 25 million cap. And remember, this group is making money on the transaction fees, but to keep that interest going, they're going to need to keep posting more and more and more interesting, possibly revealing leaks. And the idea that they've got access to a full build has to terrify Rockstar and Take-Two is based on everything we are seeing between the subpoenas and how broad the requests are. They don't seem to have a way to track down this organization. Now over to that bit of breaking news I teased a few minutes ago. We did just receive an official statement, our first official statement from Rockstar Games over on Twitter. Here's what it says. Dear all, we know that many of you have been waiting to hear from us regarding the events of the past week. It would be an understatement to say that having videos of Grand Theft Auto 6 gameplay leak in this way has been heartbreaking for our team, and this is obviously not how we intended for you to see the game after all of this. We are very sorry that everything has taken as long as it has, from getting the game finished, nearly there, to sharing more details and official gameplay and providing the community with everything you want to know. We are very excited for everyone to see the extended look tomorrow. It has taken longer than we wanted it to get ready, but as with everything we do, we know we need to exceed your expectations, and we are determined to deliver at the level you expect and deserve. While it is unfortunate that the intended game experience may now be impacted by some spoilers, we hope that everyone will wait a bit longer to experience the game for themselves on November 19th. We want to thank everyone in the community who has reached out with messages of support this past week. Your words have meant more to this team than you could imagine. Ultimately, we are making this game for you, and without you, we would not have the privilege of making games. We look forward to sharing more with you soon. Sincerely, Rockstar Games. Honestly, my initial thoughts when I saw that alert pop up on my phone from Rockstar over on X was that either they had found CyberLeek, which honestly, I don't think they ever will, or we were about to see another delay for GTA 6. But, ultimately, they've now officially recognized the leaks, which I believe this is the first time they have. But in reality, this post is a nothing burger, which at this point, with all the legal business going on with the courts, I wouldn't expect much more than that. It almost seems like Rockstar and Take-Two would save a bunch of money and headaches if they were, to respond to CyberLeek's manifesto and come out and say, hey, we heard you like physical games, so we're going to spin up a run of them for you to purchase because, we want you to enjoy GTA 6 the way that you want to enjoy it. Now, I don't know how much it would cost in production fees to print the game on physical disc, but considering how much they're dumping into legal fees, like filing subpoenas, and then, if they do get all that personal information, which I think is safe to say, we're all hoping that they don't, but if they did, then you've got all the man hours and overtime to process that information. And, at that point, we're talking into the millions, if not the hundreds of millions of dollars versus burning a run of physical discs while making some money on those sales as well. CyberLeek has already stated in their decree that companies shall not sell digital pre-orders, that they will not section off portions of the game to be sold as DLC when they're already in place, and they need to make the game available and to preserve single-player content. Again, I don't work at Take-Two, so I don't know how much this is all going to be costing them, but the options right now are to shell out millions, if not hundreds of millions, chasing down shadows while your billion-dollar game is slowly leaked day after day leading up to a mid-November launch, or you could say, take this other route, make a few bucks with the physical release, knowing that the game is still going to sell gangbusters once it finally does release, but at least you saved all that money you would have blown on legal fees. But somehow, though, I think we all know what route Rockstar is going to take. But it's an interesting story nonetheless. And between Sony's drive to kill physical media, these are the two most dominant stories in the games industry right now, and seemingly well into the future. We don't yet know how severe a potential Lucia prologue and story leak will be if that happens, but again, here's where I turn to you for your thoughts and opinions. Is Rockstar ever going to be able to get this narrative under control? Will they eventually find CyberLeek? And do you think just biting the bullet and printing a run of physical copies would be the right choice here? Drop a comment and let's talk about anything and everything GTA 6. If you happen to like the video and want to help support the channel, please hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell. And before I go, I'd like to say thank you to all of our awesome channel members. If you want to join their ranks, look to my YouTube homepage and just hit the join button, where we've got tiers and perks for all levels. Until the next one, this is Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, signing off.